think that'll be cool, right?
Action. Admitting everyone. Hello, everyone. Happy day six, Ignite fam. Hi, Christopher. Congratulations. Hi, Mike. Hi, Joanne. Welcome back. Hi, Shana. Hi, Leia. Hi, Ken. Hi, Richard. Hi, Mark. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Joel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, hello, everybody. We're going to get started here today. We have Russell, the love muscle, going to be training us today.
Yeah.
You can blame Perry for that, Russell.
Yeah, it's stuck for so many years.
Awesome. So yeah, if you guys know that you might be getting emails from me if you've been selected as a winner of an action taker for several of the different days here. Not every day has a prize, but just the ones where Perry or team, someone has promised something. I've been following up. I've been doing my due diligence to keep track of that because it's pretty fun and it's gamifying this whole experience. And congrats to Christopher Maycor. You won the $50 Amazon
Nice.
gift card from Emma. So congratulations there. And other winners, you'll be getting emails from me when we're following up to track you guys down. And we'll make announcements once we secured everything. But just great job. Great job just being an action taker. And these are supposed to be quick wins every day. And we're trucking through. And today we have the exciting domain topic that Russell, I'm not going to spoil it, but Russell will be talking to you guys, showing you some exciting things. So I'm going to pass it over to Russell and we're going to get started here so
All
we
right.
can get
Yeah,
started on time.
do you and Trisha have the possibility of winning? I mean, both of you should totally win, but like, yeah, did you throw your hat in there or you're like, nope,
No.
No,
can't win.
no,
All right.
we can't
Well,
win,
yeah,
but we will cheer everyone else on.
awesome. Yeah, the stuff you're pumping out is definitely winning material in my book. So hopefully I can follow this up a little bit. I've been watching Perry for so long with domains, and I think there's a few of you that are very similar to him that buy domains all the time. We're not going to say hoard, but have a great collection of them, like, like Pokemon style, like collecting them all. So yeah, I'm sure it keeps you up at night. And I know that, if Perry and I were sleeping, he's like up ready to buy a domain at any point. Seriously, hopefully he comes on a little bit later and talks about this because he does have a great method of searching domains. And like one night, I believe he bought like maybe 70 different associations. I'm starting to think he found every popular keyword in Pinterest and paired them up on the association and bought all of those domains. Look at the next day and like, all right, he's got a plan. I'm like, how do you do that? But yeah, recently we've done specialized domains such as like whalebot.ai that we've shared with people. And, that's more of a technology thing. But yeah, well, I guess we can just go ahead and dive in it. So I'm going to go ahead and share the link for today. It verbally is meterlinks.com/blitz day 6. I'll go ahead and share that on the screen. And then also Trisha and Angie can help facilitate some of these links as requested. So as you click this, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get into it. Share, and we'll just make sure that everybody can see. And I'll try to pull some of these Zoom remnants away. And let's see here. Okay. I think I need to just like minimize some of this stuff. All right. So hopefully you're able to click the link and you see this page. Is that correct? Let's see it in the chat. Like people are following along. Were you able to open it up using our meter links? And I want to show you one of the little things, little Easter eggs I put in here. Using meter links and using a redirect does allow you to put these call to actions in here. So I want to be transparent when I'm throwing in some, affiliate links because this is Ignite and we don't try to, you know, deceive anybody. So I went ahead and put this up. This is an example of what you could use with the meter links. And I just put here, if you click that, you'll be taken over to GoDaddy with our, what is it called? The affiliate tracking parameter. So, look at that. I already got you a use case for meter links here. So if we go ahead and click into the slideshow, it'll be ready to go. All right. So, good morning and welcome. We're doing day 6 of our 28-day AI Blitz challenge. And today we're going to dive into a crucial step in building your online brand and scaling with AI, choosing the right domain. But we're not just guessing. We're going to use data, we're going to use strategy and AI-powered tools to find the domains that are smart, brandable, and SEO ready. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move it on along. You've seen this slide a little bit before, but what we use for our agenda is Perry's AI domain tool. We're going to learn about TLD options and how they're going to impact branding and trust, as well as we're going to use research for our keywords, identify available and high impacting domains. And then finally, we connect that domain to your CRM, ready to learn, connect, and earn. All right, so on this next slide here, actually, I went over the agenda without going to the slide. That's going to happen when I don't know what I'm doing. All right, I'm going to move over here. So beyond, search algorithms, let's talk about, like, as of May 2025, over 43% of websites use the .com domains. So you can also think about, like, you probably can't own a .edu. That would be amazing if you could grab one of those. But, think about all the other domains out there, country domains. And then, .org is only going to be about 4%, .net at 0.2%, and then it just gets smaller and smaller as we go. These figures indicate that by far, .com is the most prevalent one. And I had to research this because I feel like Google does evaluate .coms, but their stance on it is they all generic top-level domains such as .com, .org, .net, .ai, et cetera, have equal ranking in search, but that means purely algorithmic standpoint, and the choice of TLD does not directly impact your site's rank. So if we go over on here, we talk about the trust and the brand and perception. .org is going to evoke more of a nonprofit vibe, and .ai, it's going to be more of your innovation kind of tech. And then, we have some other ones that seem a little bit more spammy when you've purchased some of these spammy looking ones. So, I'll talk to you about some of the domains that you've purchased later on in the presentation. But as we continue, we'll go ahead and click here. All right. Yeah. So .com, ideally for business targeting global audiences. .net, often refers to technology or networking. .net was so popular, back in the, I go back in the day of the movie with Sandra Bullock, going to the net, she's using her dial up, but, .net's a little dated, but, we have .ai, kind of bringing in with the modern future. So some of these AI powered domain name generators that you can find, actually, I want to jump into this one if I can, namey.ai. So if I click into here, it shows me a little bit more of a confusing page. Stuff is written all over. But what stands out to me, you could just put a keyword in here and it generates some domain ideas. But for you that already have a lot of domains, you could think about maybe making Lovable like an app in Lovable to create these aggregated list of all of your popular domains that are pretty good, and you want some eyes on it. So you could think about making that, and then you could ask AI to, connect your, payment gateway, or, send them over to purchase these domains. So that was the first idea. I'm like, why do they have all these listed? It's really just, hey, look at the menu. Do you see anything you like? And so definitely think about that. So say if I put in cute clothing, Perry owns like cute outfits, so this is directly in competition of it. And then they give you some suggestions here of adore me, adorably. It's kind of cute. So if I go back here, I've actually worked with a few Ignite members with the Dynadot that has a great search feature. Also domain.com, and there's a few others to list. We're not going to go into each of them, but I would like you to go in here. This is the AI powered tool. This is what we can use. So if you can scan that, if you can grab it in the domain here, let me see if I can just make sure it's posted. This is going to be a great GPT that we can dive into. So I put that link here. Once we get in there, we're going to see this screen. So this is going to be the domain name researcher. So say if we want to look at, I don't know, I have a whole bunch of historical books or something I want to be able to sell. So maybe I'll do historic books. That's my keyword. That's what I'm going to submit. What I do here is I click, the suggest, and what I what I have done is I connected a really cool tool. I believe it's called domainr.com, and they have an API. So what I can do is find out if these domains do exist. It does its best. It has some flaws, but as it's going to go through and use their API to decide as fast as it can what domains are available. It's going to give me some, like cute ideas for, just funky looking domains that, I don't know, that could fit a brand. And it's giving me a lot of different options. Now, the green is going to be something that's probably good for suggestively. Maybe it's a little relative, but, good for SEO. Medium would be the yellow, and then the red is not really SEO friendly as much. So this one really stuck out to me, historicalbooks.org. Like, wow, okay, is that really available? So I can kind of go back to something like, search this. It looks like it's available. I can let's go to GoDaddy. Now, there's theories that if you type this in to GoDaddy, immediately GoDaddy purchases it and then tries to sell it back to you at a higher price. So let's go ahead and do that. So it looks like historicalbooks.org. That's the one I would want for this project. It just popped up. It's $9, but definitely look at these renewal prices for a .org. I'm going to go back here to the GPT a little bit because I have, I kind of blazed over that because I found exactly the domain I was looking for. But let's keep going, like modern ideas. And it gives me, look, historic.cal. And that sounds kind of crazy. And also it will show me some search engine related, ranked keywords in there. Most of these are taken. Historicalbooks.com, I assume that's gone. And, there's a few of them in there, but this is what I wanted to show you too. Being in Ignite, we always look for, little hacks, little tips that beat us in the competition. So what I've done here is added a call to action at the bottom. Again, I want to be transparent when I throw up this, affiliate link. So it says, do you need to go ahead and check if any of these domains are ready for purchase? You can click here, and it's going to take us out to Hostinger with my affiliate, link. So I don't know if anybody else is putting these in their custom GPTs. This is a total hack right here. So I'm going to show you the building of this. So if I go down here and I put this as the instructions, leave them with a helpful link, ask them if they want to find their domains on Hostinger, and then put that. So if you're thinking about like trying to invite more people to your Ignite group or something like that, you can do something like that, a call to action. So definitely wanted to point that out to you. So that's going to be at the end of those. That's pretty wicked smart, right? Okay, so now let's go back into the. Let's talk about cheaper domains. All right, so we have the tool. Go ahead and play around with that in the background. I believe everybody's gotten in there. So let's talk about some of the domain extensions. I think this is important to talk about because of the the price that you see could be really I don't know, engaging for you to go ahead and entertain. You've got the .xyz. It's often the lowest price for 99. But think about it. The renewals could be like $10 to $12. Is it worth it in the long run? .click, .stream. Those on $3 a year, making them pretty budget friendly. And then and think about these if these are just going to be not SEO, but maybe for landing pages, quick links. And then shop.buzz.online, you'll see those priced, in the $99 to $1.50 for the first year, but just pay attention to the renewals. They're going to usually show you. So, like I said on this one, I'm paying only $10 if I purchase this domain on GoDaddy, but they're going to ding me with $22.99 for that renewal. I bet a lot of people have seen that before. And when you get those renewals that you didn't want to keep on the domain, you would probably have maybe less than 24 hours to ask them to uh, you know reverse that charge. I've done it before where I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa! I just bought like a .co and it was going to be a pretty big charge, so I asked them to reverse that, and I didn't want that domain. I had it released. All right, so then also be aware of the cheap traps. A 99-cent domain does look great, but the renewals could be pretty expensive. And then compare the full time pricing over 3 to 5 years. Typically, they'll tell you what they are. All right, so the total domain registrations, I want to give you that big number right there. 368 million domains were registered as of Q1. That's not all of them, it's just all of the existing ones. And so you have to also think about country codes. Global brands, they stick, if you're a big brand like a Nike or something, you typically want to do the .com or the .org. I was going to show you that this is kind of a crazy thing. Recently, the popularity of the .ai, especially among AI focused startups, had registrations of like 600,000 as of recently. And for each domain, oh, man, I almost had the pronunciation. It's like Aguila government gets anywhere from like 140 to thousands of dollars when people buy the website domains. And then look at that. I mean, it really comes into that small little island off of like St. Kitts that's like around $32 million from those fees. That's pretty staggering, right? And so, yes. And then I did see Troy put the comment right there. So when I did put in where is this? Right here, where it asks you if you want to use, say, if I go to golf ball tricks. I don't know if that's going to bring it up. Usually it does this, ask you if you want to use this domain researcher. This is the API that I connected. So I definitely want to show you that, just so if you're hesitant to use it. The actions of the API right here, I've put in a script that uses domain rapid A, and it looks on this site right here to find the websites that that would be available. So you do have to give it permission right there to search for the domain and its availability. And so that's why you say, yes, allow, and then it will push all of those possibilities in there and see if they're, it tries to do its best. Maybe 1 out of 10 is taken, but that's the reason you have to give it approval. So I'm going to flip back here. We were just finishing talking about AI, .ai, but here's a comparison of the popular domains, focusing on the registration and the renewal prices. I just go back over this because you don't want to be, once you get into this domain buying, you could get addicted and it could be costly. So look at what you're getting into. People have purchased, Cloudflare domains. I think these are the .com prices. Namecheap, I do a lot of Namecheap domains. And then I think Agnes brought it to my attention on Friday that Pork Bun was a cheaper alternative to buy a domain. So yeah, I was like, all right, we'll add this, because they do have good pricing, as well as Dynadot, and then have GoDaddy down here. GoDaddy has kind of been our tried and true, but this crazy thing over here, I'll have to show you. All right, so domain R. So this is where I was actually pulling from the API. So I was looking at like what could be cool, like what's it? Nice watches. So say we used a tool such as, I kind of going backwards in this. I think I have Word Tracker up here. Let's see, Word Tracker. So this allows me to do keyword research. So I'd say I put in nice watches here, and if I haven't used all my credits, it's going to show me that nice watches has about 2,000 a month search. So people are, for SEO reasons, like people are looking for nice watches. And you also see a category, nice watches for men, and then nice watches for women. So using that power that we have for search engine ranking, we could go to this site here, domainr.com, and put in nice watches, and it says nice.watches is available. So this site is kind of cool for finding what are those uh, like look for alternative spellings or domains that can complete a word. So here's some examples. Time, read it, join me, get in, and then I found Skivity Toilet. So if you're a middle school kid, that's the domain for you, right? It's perfect. But yeah, I definitely recommend using domainr.com for finding interesting domains. As I continue on, I just want to tell you, I went back with the word tracker here. I just wanted to show you in person that I could search for this. It was going to give me results for SEO, and then I could find if something is available. So things to remember: keep it short and memorable. Shorter domains are easier to remember and less prone to typos. Avoid hyphens and numbers. You've seen these in email addresses. It's so hard to keep these straight. Use keywords. So definitely use something like a word tracker or Neil Patel's software that you can find out how keywords are ranking. SEMrush is a great one as well. And then also check for trademarks. When you get that perfect domain, then you do have to worry a little bit hey, is it taken? So make sure that you've done your due diligence and found the domain that works just for you. All right, so ready to find the domains that check all the boxes. With the right tools, you can discover domains that you've never thought you could own, avoid overpriced renewals, and then pick a TLD that supports your SEO and brand, and use AI to find the perfect keywords to fit it. So that's just it in a nutshell. What I'm going to do, though, is now we've done the learn part, let's do the connect part. So say I used let me see if I found my ChatGPT. There we go. So say if I found the perfect domain for me, golfballtricks.com or something. I mean, that's probably taken. More likely you'll have golfballtricks.org is something. But what I did is we have one called the AIToolLabs.com. So I'm using Cloudflare. I have the domain in my Cloudflare. And what I want to do is add it to my Springboard CRM. So what I do is I come to my I call it the big blue side menu. And so on this side, you have, all the different features that you can use. But when you click settings, you're going to have the back end settings. So I find domains down here. And when you do this, you want to go to connect a domain, and you'll have all of these options. Usually, I'll just use a funnel website. This is what you're going to use with your, digital business card, aka Linktree. So if you want to connect this and follow along with me, I'm going to click connect. I'm going to find that domain, and I usually just copy and paste to reduce human error. I'm going to click continue. And then what I want to do, I think it's just click continue here. It asks me if I want the www tool domain. I'm probably going to have that redirect. So let's click continue, and it runs a simple search for me. And then what I'm going to find is I'm going to need to add this record right here into my Cloudflare. I'm going to click authorize domain and see if it does it automatically for me. All right, yeah, so it's detecting that I had this in place. This is kind of a dead IP, so I'm ready to migrate over here. So I'm going to click authorize, and then I have to, type this in again. So I'm just paste authorize. And what it's going to do is connect this and propagate the DNS for me. The advantage of Cloudflare, I feel is you have a little bit faster response for propagation. It seems to get it connected faster for me. So as that's connecting, I could go back and talk about the GPT a little bit. But if there are questions, as this is propagating and connecting, go ahead and put your hand up. Oh, look, it just finished. So I'm just, I'll come back to the question there. I anticipated it being another couple of minutes, but what it did is it actually allows me to put this domain on a funnel, a website, a store, a blog, a webinar. I mean, Springboard has it all, but I'm going to go ahead and pick it with a funnel. I'm going to go with my AI test funnel. And so I have a funnel already made. This would probably be, Russell's link tree or Russell's digital business card that is sitting there connected. So you would find that in your, I don't know if there's a digital business card on here. Yeah, I'm just going to use this. Imagine if this was your digital business card that you set up. You can put the domain to it. A lot of you have probably already done this, but just to complete the whole step. And then have the 6-day here. I'm going to keep it with the AI test funnel. That's just the first step here. You can pick whatever step you want to, be your main root domain. So as I'm getting more confusing, I'm just going to click proceed to finish. And once this is done, I should have AI Tool Lab set, and now I can actually test it. I'm going to go into that domain, and fingers crossed it gets there. Yeah, so that's the step. So now I have that domain connected. That's a voila. It's ready to go. It's connected, and I can probably see it in my Cloudflare. If I refresh, I'll see those updated DNS records. There they are. They look like this. And I believe they pretty much use all of the same. If you're using Cloudflare, make sure you don't have that. I'll zoom in a little bit there. So if you have Cloudflare, make sure you don't have that orange cloud on there, that proxy status. You want that off. All right. So let's go back and we can play a little bit with the, the AI domain researcher. So say if I want to do a new search, or new chat, I guess. And so say if you want to find your personal brand domain. So I have Russell, I already have russellcsmith.com, but let's see if it pulls up anything for my name. The middle initial stands for Casey. All right, so it's going to talk to the connector. I want to allow it.
Hey, Russell, some people are asking if you can zoom in, if you can just control plus to see if you
just keep zoomed in like this. Is this sufficient?
Looks great. All
right, sweet. So what I got is I got cute ideas. So we could have Rusty Smiles, Rusty Bear.me. That doesn't catch my eye. I don't own the .net and I don't own the .org. I want to see the .org, and say if I go to GoDaddy and then search. There it is, russellcsmith.org. I could grab that. Let's see, there's a .co.us. So the search engine ranks, I can say that I already own this one. Oh yeah, Dean, that's funny, man. Let's see if that's a possibility. Copy link. So Dean had put in Russell the Love Muscle. Let's see if it has that. I wonder if I can just put the domain here and allow. Russell the Love Muscle looks like. I'm surprised it's still available. That's crazy to me. So let's put it in there. And oh wait, no, it looks like somebody owns it. It is not available. It is taken. I bet it was a GoDaddy search and they took it for me. So yeah, and so then I get my call to action as well. So there is a whole nother strategy on this, especially when we talk about keywords. I'm hoping to get Perry's insight on this, but I don't know if he's on the call right now. He has talked about when you're looking for your personal brand or your business to look for those keywords and see if they match and if it is available, because he did talk about the most closest match to those keyword or keyword phrases. If you can find the .com for that, you should buy it. It's maybe your brand is peanut butter and jelly and you find, peanutbutterandjelly.com, you want to, grab that. If your brand is, Skippy Peanut Butter and you could find peanut butter and jelly, and that's, Skippy Peanut Butter maybe is the lower searched and peanut butter and jelly is the higher searched, go ahead and grab peanut butter and jelly and you can still be the brand, Skippy, but you own the domain that has a better search, keyword as far as, I hope, does that make sense what I'm talking about? Let me know if I need clarity. I start rambling on a little bit there, but yeah, definitely if your brand, has a lower search volume, you'd be able to do something like purchase a domain with the keywords with a higher search volume. Then you just use Google and you pay for your brand search and you get the organic search with your keywords. I'm trying to think of any other possible scenarios with that. Okay, so asking questions on there. This is a hard one though too, because you don't want to if you are putting information in the chat or speaking about this, you don't really want to give away your domain if you haven't purchased it yet. You don't want to speak it because people are competitive. We hate it if it ever happens here, but if you mention a domain that you don't own yet in this chat, all bets are off if it's gonna be available. So yeah, I do know that a lot of people have had success on finding their exact domain, what they're looking for, and then some people need a little bit of encouragement, and that's where I think the AI tool helps out with looking for it. So yeah, if
Perry's
there
on
are any
now.
questions,
Russell,
awesome.
just want to let you know Perry joined us.
This is
Hey.
great because I lack the insight, Perry, on finding the best domain. I shared about your organization, finding organizations and associations. One night you just bought like 300 domains of every single organization known to man, and I was like, what was your strategy? I thought you went to Pinterest and found keywords, but yeah, like what is that thing where you find the keywords that match your brand and buy that domain?
Yeah, you can ask, one of the things you can do, there's a tool. Let me see. Let me share real quick and I'll show you something you can use. Okay.
It should be able to share now.
Yeah, so if you go to, if you go to ChatGPT and say, give me 10 odd names I could name my company that does moving of large objects like pool tables, hot tubs, etc. So it's going to give me some names. So I can take those and I can go to, if you just Google GoDaddy bulk, it's going to give you a bulk domain registration window. And you drop that list in there like that, right? I think you need to take up the spaces if I remember. I'm not crazy about any of these names, but and then search. You can see these are the ones that were available. And I guess all 10 of those were available because none of them were very good. But if we we take some of this. These are not very good names, clearly. But if you've got names for your thing, you can go here. And like what I did was I just came up with a ton of association names. And I always try to name my associations whatever association.org. So it's like tennisassociation.org or footballassociation.org or taxidermyassociation.org. That way, if I have to change the name, I had to change the name. I was the American Craft Association, and I got sued over that name in a trademark conflict. And I probably could have won it, but I didn't want to fight it. So I was just able to change my name to National Craft Association because I owned craftassociation.org. And .orgs are great for associations. I think they're better than anything. They're better than a .com, actually. Everybody thinks that a .org has to be a nonprofit. It does not. It can be any organization, whether it's for-profit or nonprofit. So I I make a lot of money on domains, frankly. I use some tools like these are free, like NameJet. These are all domains that are coming up for sale. And NameJet's interesting. These are names that are about to expire. So you bid on them. So let's say, for instance, who's looking for a domain for something around a category? Who's got something?
Yeah, my example is historical books, if or historical maps, kind of selling those type of things.
Yeah, let's see.
When
Let's just
you do association and it's kind of a long word, is it you want to keep that association word, right? You don't want to shorten it to like ass or something or like
I don't
there's a
because
strategy right on that.
yeah, I don't because I don't want to because I want to be searchable under like gun association. So I just use the word vintage, right? So here are domains that are for sale, right? At NameJet, but there's also like, let me see. I'll show you a couple of tools I use. This is I'm trying to find where the listings are. Search. I want to search the ones that are about to expire. So like, oh yeah, so if I had a name like Vintage Books, right? It's going to show me that vintagebooks.com is taken. But if I want to back order that, if I want to hit this button, I can pay $79. And if it doesn't cost me anything right now, but if Vintage Books ever comes available, NameJet will grab it for me for $79. So I've bought a bunch of domains this way. Like I've had domains that people I wanted to buy and they just wouldn't sell. And over time, I bought. You remember Potty Bombs, right, Russell? So
Yes.
I offered a guy $10,000 to buy pottybombs.com. That they're like a bath bomb thing that goes in your toilet. That's like a poopery for your toilet. It's a pretty cool idea. And he wouldn't sell. And I put Potty Bombs in here. And like 8 months later, he forgot to he forgot to pay his domain. And I bought it for $80. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
As I say, you're into everything. Who would have thought?
Yeah, these are pretty crazy. But and like here are some that are in auction. Right now you can kind of see some things that are out there, and and you can have contains, and you enter a keyword here.
Do they have like, say, if you're trying to do chat bots or reselling bots, do they have the newer .ai stuff, or is that
yeah, you
listed in
can say
there?
down here. Yeah, you can say down here probably .ai domains. I don't see it as an option right now, but I can turn them all off and see if there's .ai. I would assume there would be. But they seem to be alphabetical, so maybe not. We'll just put in there .ai.
No, yeah, I guess it's too new on that one.
Yeah, I guess not. So, like Books International, this is coming up, available soon. Austin Motels, Boss Trucking. These are good names. So, like a lot of these domains, I would buy these just to speculate on it, just hold. I used to buy a lot of names like
Yeah, we just checked russellthelovemuscle.com is taken. I don't know when that one was purchased.
yeah. So if I'm trying to,
Oh, yes.
but yeah, you've got Russell.com. So it's gonna bring up. It's not as good as it used to be in how it searches. You used to be able to search. Oh, here it is. Maybe it's the top. Maybe I'm searching the wrong box. Yeah. So here's like Carol Abby Russell is coming available. So one of the things I might do, Abby E. Russell, I wouldn't do that one. If you find a name though, like Jerry Russell, Jeri Russell. So if I go here and look up Jeri Russell, it's a Carrie Russell, Jerry Russell. So a lot of times I'll look and see if there's like 10 different Jerry Russells in LinkedIn. I might buy that, send an email to all of them. Cat Russell, Robbins Russell. And, so it's crazy, or law. Like sometimes you get them that end with law. Like, use the top search bar, not the bottom. That's what I was doing. So, if you find
Biblical law.
City Outlaws, that's a pretty good name. But you'll find these different people that, law firms that haven't registered their name. You can go back and sell them their name back. I've bought, I'll tell you my funniest domaining story. There used to be a show called The Facts of Life, and it had this girl in it named Tina Yothers. Those of you that are old will remember this girl. Yeah. She was in The Facts of Life. And I don't know if I still own TinaYothers.com or not, but I probably do. So I bought TinaYothers.com on like a name jet for $79, right? And I was going to sell it to her, right? Because she had just let it go. Well, some guy reached out to me and said, I want to buy TinaYothers.com. Do you want to sell it? And I was like, I figure I get $500 for it or something. And I said, I don't know. What would you offer me? And they said, I'll give you $7,500 for it. And I said, sold, and I sold it. And then I never heard from the guy again. He wired me the money, paid me, didn't tell me how to transfer the domain, and I never heard from him again. And I think I still own it, if I'm not mistaken. I did not too long ago, but it was just bizarre. But I bought on here one day fancypopcorn.com, and I sold it on GoDaddy for $3,800. I bought it.
You say that, yeah. You sold it on GoDaddy. There's a few questions about how do you sell it. Like you can just, if you own it on GoDaddy, you can just turn around and sell it right that way.
Yeah, you can list them right away. And sometimes they sell through there. They sell through the brokers. It's pretty crazy. If I've got something that like I own, I think I still own it, Brentwood Country Club. And there are 4 Brentwood Country Clubs in America. So for that domain, for instance, I've got a letter over here right now to go out to all the Brentwood Country Clubs saying, hey, I'm going to auction off Brentwood Country Club. Here's when the auction is going to start. And I'm just going to put it up for auction at GoDaddy, but send them a letter each by Federal Express telling them that it's going to go on auction and what day. And I can get them to bid on it. Because the only people be interested in buying it is somebody owns Brentwood Country Club. There's great money to be made in domaining. There really is. I probably, I think I'm down to 1,300 domains now. I used to talk about 3,500. I'm down to 1,300. And I probably sell without trying 4 or 5 a year. And if I was more aggressive, and it's weird, man, you get offers on, somebody will go to sewing.com and offer me $500. And then somebody will go to, ipickboogers.com and offer me $5,000. You just never know. If somebody wants a thing,
Big boogers.
It's crazy, right? I just bought sourdoughstarter.com and I paid $4,800 for it. And that term gets,
Yeah, do you still use Word Tracker to find that? Or, Uber suggests, the Neil Patel tool.
yeah. So sourdough, if I search sourdough, I probably need to sign in. Yeah, there you go. Thought so. Ah, shoot. I don't remember what I signed in with. Probably that.
90,000. That's monthly, right?
Look at what the bigger than the word sourdough or sourdough bread is what? Sourdough starter.
200,000.
201,000 searches a month. And I bought that domain for $4,800. You can't, it makes me crazy that people won't invest in their domain names. It's like if you were going to start a business downtown, you'd have to go rent a building, get insurance, pay utilities, that. And then people will start a business and go, well, I don't know if I should pay $700 for a domain or not. It's like, I just want to punch them in the face, It's the real estate that your business lives on. But I was crazy. I thought it was crazy that sourdough starter has more searches than sourdough bread does.
Yeah, I love the story you had of like purchasing that and getting on a call with the owner. And
It took me 4 weeks to buy that. I bought it from an old man in Montana, I think it was, or Wyoming. I think it's Montana. He bought it 22 years ago to impress a girl. And then she wasn't impressed. So he just kept it all these years. And he sold it to me for $4,800. But there's a whole art to negotiating these things. If you guys want to learn if you guys at Ignite want to learn how to negotiate domain names, they're very negotiable. I bought sewing.com for $104,000, I think, but I ended up only paying $60 because I bought it on terms. And I didn't have to buy it on terms. I paid $20,000 down for $104,000 and like $5,000 a month. And in the third month, I just asked them, hey, would you guys just take $50,000 cash to buy this contract out? And they did. So I bought it. I guess I paid $70,000 or $75,000 for it. But it's worth.
Yeah, when you do that, you have like a middleman or like it held an escrow or something, and they point the domain for you until you finish the purchase.
Yeah, I use a service called escrow.com. You can take what you basically do is you give your domain to escrow.com, they hold it. And then, or the company does, like, for instance, there'll be an agreement that says they have standard agreements. So there'll be an agreement that says, I'm buying this domain from Russell Smith and I'm giving him $5,000 a month for 12 months. So I'm going to give him $60,000 for this domain. So escrow will charge a small fee. Russell puts the domain into escrow. He doesn't own it anymore. And I don't own it, escrow. And then if I fail to make my payments, they give the domain back to Russell. If I complete my payments successfully, they give the domain to me. So it's just a very trusted service for that. So there's good money in escrow. There's good money in domains, but invest in your domain. But right now, the .com domain is less important than it used to be. If you've got a brand name,
that's why I was going to ask you this. You mentioned Brentwood Country Club, but like the Brentwood Country .club is available for $4.99. Is that something you would pick, or is .club?
Not necessarily, but if I'm doing something like you're seeing now, a lot of these tech companies that are, system.io or something.co or notion.so. And what they'll do is build up, and then eventually when they've made money, they go buy the main domain. Or one of the things that you can do if your name is particularly unique. So let's say, for instance, that it was crazycow.com is your domain, let's say, and you can't get crazycow.com because somebody's sitting on it, right? If I register crazycow.co and I build a business there, I can get a trademark on that. And then it makes it very difficult for that person to sell that domain to anyone else, because I would have in that particular line of business. Does that make sense? Yeah. But domaining is a ball. But I think I still own tinayothers.com if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I ever got it.
It's awesome.
But it's just crazy that I figured the guy eventually one day would come back, give me $7,500. So I've long since spent the money. So that's the ticket on that. But so what other questions have you guys got about how you can profit from domains? There's a lot of avenues. Yeah, Matthew.
Hey, Perry, I own a ton of domains that are complementary to a bunch of investment companies. I'm an investment advisor during the day. And I was thinking about hiring a VA and running like 10 of these websites on an alternative investment with these huge investment companies' names in these domains, and then doing the lead laundering strategy to make them seem like an authority, hoping that maybe
you've got the company name in the domain. Yeah, you're going to get 9 million lawsuits.
That's what I thought.
Throw them away right now. Start paying registration on.
Okay. And then
they're not going to be anything for you but trouble.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Mark? Mark? As soon as I said Mark, he disappeared. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm not sure how far back you can go, brother, but 16 years ago, we both spoke at Ross Goldberg's last Internet Marketing Masters event. And that's what I was teaching. I was teaching VRE.
Tampa, Florida, right? What in Tampa?
Yeah. So I was teaching this, and I used to attend Domain Fest. And they had an event one time at the Playboy Mansion because they would do auctions, not for the domains, but to raise money for nonprofit organizations. So that was 16 years ago.
Yeah. I promise you, if I were to retire tomorrow, I would speculate in domains as a way to make money in my retirement. It's so easy to do. You just find, surnames are really good, like Res. I can take the name Res and search expired or expiring domains with Res in it. And I go find that there's 30 Mark Res's in the country. Let's say, I don't know if there are, but there are. If I go out to all 30 of them, especially if there's at least 4 or 5 of them that are higher ups at bigger companies on LinkedIn, I'm going to sell markres.com for $500 to $2,500. And, I can pay, and it's all in how you approach them. Like usually what I'll say is, hey, I bought this domain for a client and I don't have the client anymore. And it's not useful to me. One of the best things I found though, is go ahead and put that thing up on GoDaddy auctions on like a 14-day auction and just send them to the GoDaddy auctions page. Don't try to manage the auction yourself. And then they'll just get in a bidding thing over it. And you'll be shocked sometimes. Sometimes you'll be shocked negatively that just nobody bids, right? But generally speaking, you're shocked the other direction. That I watched the guy that runs a Sotheby's art auction, and he was talking about how do you sell $1 million painting, and the answer was you get 2 billionaires that want it. That's the answer. If you just get 2 people that want anything, I was listening to to Oversubscribed, and Priestley was talking about Gary Vaynerchuk, and I've done the same kind of thing, but Gary auctioned off a full day consult with him and access to his Rolodex, and started off people were bidding $500, and in a matter of a couple of minutes there were 2 people bidding I think it was $15,000 each. And he finally said, I'll just do a day with each of you if you both want a day. And he raised $30,000. And his point was there were 2 people in that audience really willing to pay a premium price. But sometimes it's difficult to figure out who those 2 people are. Does that make sense? So I've got a letter that I wrote. I was writing them yesterday, a new domain letter. That's right here. Right. Dear Mr. So-and-so, and these go out to like major corporations. The prime domain blank has recently come to market. My firm has been charged with with the handling of this transaction. Your company's been placed on a short list of buyers. If you have interest to make an offer in the range of $200,000 to $800,000, please contact my office. If not, we wish you well. And thank you so much. And then I CC at the bottom the other companies I sent the letter to. And this is for a really high level domain that I'm selling right now.
That's what you would call wicked smart.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm selling DIY projects. So I know for a fact that Lowe's, Michael's, Home Depot each bid $3 to $5 a click for that term. And I think I rank on the first page. So why not just sell them the domain it's a bargain for them to buy it for $500,000. And I don't want to develop that domain anymore. So give me $500,000 to go put into something else.
Really smart. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Chad, I got 2 minutes. I got to hop to another call. What's up?
Not much. I was just, I'd read something about like that cyber squatting, and you sort of touched on it, but then it seems like you also, like BrentwoodCountryClub.com seems like it would be like an entity already owns that. So couldn't they just grab it from you?
They really can't, but I couldn't really, a savvy buyer wouldn't buy it without holding, a savvy buyer wouldn't buy it without holding, because I could be making a movie called Brentwood Country Club.
Yeah.
And it's not within their use case for trademark, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If I go out and use it to start a country club, they'll sue the shit out of me.
Yeah.
And
I was just curious, some of those.
If somebody buys it that doesn't have if somebody buys it and decides to use it, they might sue them. You know, it's mostly in use. I'm not a lawyer, so don't take legal advice.
Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. I just, because I've gone down the domain registering rabbit hole, and I just read something about cyber squatting that, you know, somebody could potentially, like if Coca-Cola.com were available, like you could buy it, but then they would just be like,
if you bought Coca-Cola, you know, restaurants.com, they would sue you for domain right then.
Yeah.
With saying that you had an intent to infringe, I guess. I mean, yeah, it's a dicey world. I'll tell you a quick story. I got 1 minute, so you'll get a kick out of this one. I came in one morning. I'd been drunk domaining, and Richard Lender, I'm like, man, we're going to start a humor site. We're going to be the biggest humor site in the world. Look at what I bought last night at 3:00 in the morning when I was drunk. And I whipped it out, and I'm like, boom. And he looks funny. He says, shit for Brian's? I thought I bought shitforbrains.com, but I misspelled it. So anyway, I gotta go, guys.
List of those.
Yeah. Y'all take care. I'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that sharing.